What's up, Helldivers? In today's video, we're going over the energy weapons in Helldivers 2. These are probably the strongest category of weapons overall. They are predominantly on the stronger side in terms of the current meta that's going on. But yeah, I really have been enjoying quite a lot of them. I've had a few sort of change of opinions playing some of these weapons, which has actually been a lot of fun during my testing. So yeah, if you enjoy this video, make sure to drop a like and subscribe, and let's not waste more time and get straight into it. So first up, we are doing the Ark Blitzer. So the Blitzer is probably strongest on the bug front. The bug front, it is a great CC weapon. It can one-shot most of the bugs up until the Hive Guards and Brood / Alpha Commanders. Then it starts becoming a 2 to 3 shot. Either way, it is medium pen, so it can bust through the Hive Guards armor. It will stagger them as well. It's very good at keeping the enemies off. If you feel like you're getting a little bit overwhelmed, I'd suggest just putting a warp pack on your back and then just warp a little bit back. You create that space and you just carry on bursting them. It is overall quite strong in that fashion. It comes with the downside of having basically no range, so being attacked by any ranged enemies or flying enemies like shriekers becomes a bit of a problem. And this is why I don't rate it particularly high against the Illuminate and the bots. The bots is probably its worst faction to go up against, just because they are ranged. You have to go right up on top of them, and you're basically just you're making yourself more vulnerable to the enemy, and I don't really enjoy that. I struggle a lot. Although it has the penetration to do well against the bots, could kill basically any Devastator and any Trooper, no problem. It's just making yourself more vulnerable. The same really goes for the Illuminate. You don't really want to be up in their faces. Sure, it kills voteless, but there's so many of them that spawn that it kind of overwhelms the gun, and with its fire rate, it just is not good enough. It's terrible against the flesh mobs, and overseers can do well against the spear overseers, but when it comes to the flying overseers, they are constantly trying to keep some space away from you, so it becomes really difficult to make it effective on that front. So because it is incredibly good against the bugs, I think it has a lot of value. You get used to the playstyle, can do really well. I want to rate it highly, but it does suffer on the other two fronts. It suffers really badly on the bot front. You can make it work, but it's a suffer. So overall, I'm putting it in a B, but just know that against the bugs alone, it's actually pretty decent, and I'll put it like an A but this is a more holistic general tier list. Now onto the Sickle. The Sickle also feels like a bit of a one-trick pony, much like the Blitzer. It only really excels against one front, and that front is the bots. I find it really good being able to just lay waste to all of the troopers and then going for headshots on the Devastators. It's even better the fact that because it's a laser weapon, it has 0 damage fall off across the map. So you will do the same amount of damage no matter whether they're right in front of you or they are a couple hundred meters away. So you can just delete their heads and no problem. Despite this gun being light pen and actually having quite low damage. Against the bugs, unfortunately, it starts suffering. You are going to probably overheat the gun and end up reloading very quickly because of they overwhelming you, and then the same can be said with the Illuminate and the Voteless. So the Voteless will just eat up all your ammo, well, your heat, overheat the gun, that by the time you're done with the voteless, you got flesh mobs on you that also need to die. You got overseers that also need to die, and it just gets overwhelmed. So on those two fronts, it doesn't particularly do well, and I only really found success with it on the bot front. I would really like, and I know the community's been asking for this, I would really like them to add some sort of heatsink option to this. Lower the ergo, I don't care. I just want it to be able to last a bit longer. It feels a lot better on cold planets, and that shows how just making it able to fire a bit longer increases the effectiveness of this gun, and also cooling down a lot quicker. But yeah, not gonna go on much more. I think you guys get the picture. It's a pretty okay gun against the bots, and then it suffers tremendously against the other two factions. And unfortunately, as much as I like it against the bots, I can't rate it very high. So it'll go C tier. It's not bad. It's okay. Next is the double-edged sickle, or better known as the Dickle. So the Dickle is an interesting gun, and I think it's a very fun and interesting and lovely addition to the game when it came out. It unfortunately has a few requirements to make it effective. It requires a fire-resistant armor, because as the gun heats up, it starts to slowly burn you more and more and more, and eventually when it reaches its peak amount of heat, it sets you on fire. The upside of it, though, is you can mitigate this with fire-resistant armor, as I mentioned earlier, and you can use the vitality booster, and you can further reduce the amount of damage the fire does to you. Lying down drops that damage even faster. Then you can just hold this trigger down and have fun for days. I had a lot of fun testing this gun, and I had a buddy who was using it. So I decided to run the stim pistol, and I sat there just stimming him on the bot front, and he was going to town, just laying waste to them. Now, another fun perk about this gun is, for those who are not in the know, is as the gun heats up, not only does its damage go up, its penetration level increases. So it starts out being light pen, then it goes to medium, and it finishes off at heavy. That means that it can chew through almost every single enemy until you get to like tanks and stuff like that. So a Hulk is not even safe to this gun. You can shoot it through the eye. The unfortunate news around this gun is, although this sounds all incredible, because you are damaging yourself, you're going to be running through stims, you're going to be needing the booster, the armor set, and ideally lying down to fire with this gun. It becomes extremely niche, and it can put you in more danger. So you're going to be needing to probably run something like either the supply pack, or you're going to need your buddies to just stim pistol you the whole time. So although I really like this gun, I love its utility, I like how creative it is, I can't really rate it that high. Now, its effectiveness is probably best against the bots. It is pretty good against the Illuminate as well. It chews through them all. And it's probably least effective against the bugs, just because you need to ramp up your fire rate, and they're going to be all on top of you by then, and you're probably going to die. So it's not very good against a bug front. I wouldn't suggest it. I do suggest it against Illuminate and the bots. The best case scenario is actually running it against the Incineration Corp, because you kind of want to wear fire resistant armor against the Incineration Corp in any case. So you just run the Dickle. So it's probably one of my favorite guns to run against the Incineration Corp, and I have a lot of fun against them. So I'm actually going to rate it in probably in B tier. It's quite harsh, I know. But unfortunately, just because of how you need to build craft and how much it limits you on your build crafting, I can't say it is a tier gun. It doesn't open your build crafting incredibly high. So yeah, I will leave it there. Next is the Scythe. This gun has been getting better over time. but it's still not there yet. It is light pen only. It's got the upside of being able to light targets on fire, and it does actually have heatsink attachments, which the Sickle doesn't have. And I highly suggest you run the large heatsink just so that you can fire this gun even longer. It is pretty okay against the Illuminate. Some people have had fun with it, like a little laser pointer. It's cool and all. So I think it, with a good setup on your support and sidearms, the Scythe can actually run pretty well. It would do pretty good against the Illuminate and bot front. Bot front, you want to probably prioritize going for the heads. That's how I find it most effective, especially the Devastators. On the bug front, much like the Sickle, it struggles. It's going to take too long sitting there trying to light bugs on fire, and it's going to basically overheat, so you're going to be overwhelmed and die. So it's not that effective on that front. So for that reason, this is a rather quick one for me. I'm going to rate it in C tier. These two could chop a change, honestly. I get the Scythe has the fire damage potential. I do like the Sickle a little bit more. Maybe it's just my bias of it being kind of like an AR, but I do like the Sickle a bit more. Now on to the Purifier. This gun is incredible. It is truly amazing. Probably one of the biggest glow ups in the game. When it launched, it was actually quite a terrible gun, but now it is amongst the best, sitting up there with the Eruptor, the crossbow, and probably not much else around it. The reason behind it being so incredibly good is it's got a bit of versatility to it. You can rapid fire the trigger and you can just shoot little plasma bolts, and that is great for small little targets. If they're right up on you, you will be able to kill them and not hurt yourself that much. Not as much as like the Scorcher will. But the cool thing about it is you can hold in the trigger, you charge the shot, and then when you release the trigger and it hits a target, it deals an insane amount of damage. It's able to crowd control and stagger enemies, and for that reason it's incredibly good. It works really well in combo with the hover pack and the warp pack, just either being able to just create some distance. Oh, and you can include the jump pack as well. Or in the hover pack's case, you can just levitate above the enemy and shoot them from above and they can't get you. It's pretty good against the bugs. It probably suffers the most against the bugs. Then the Illuminate, it's a little bit better. It's able to destroy Overseers and just leave them hopeless. You stagger them, they can't attack you, you melt them. You can hit the Overseers through their shields even, which is incredibly useful. And the same goes for the shield Devastators. You can hit them as well on the bot front. It probably shines the best against the bots just because Devastators are completely useless against this thing. It's such a good gun against them. And the ammo economy is not even a problem on this gun. If you are primarily using this gun in the charge shot mode, you've got so many shots. You've got 15 shots per mag, and it has like 6 mags. So it just obliterates the bot front. Really, really good gun. And I have to put it to S tier. Whether it's better than something like the Eruptor, I don't think so. But it's up there. It's right up there. Now, to the Scorcher. The kind of auto AR little brother of the Purifier. This gun is also really, really good. It's got a lot of damage. It's a plasma gun, so it's got AoE damage. It's medium pen, so it's got a lot of the upsides that the Purifier has, minus being able to stagger and having as big of an AoE. And the main issue, though, with this gun comes in with its ammo economy. This gun's ammo economy is shocking. When I run this gun, if I'm playing solo, I'm still running siege ready armor and probably running the supply pack, because this thing chows through ammo. You kind of want to either have a support weapon or a sidearm that can help you with facing off enemies, just so that you don't chew through this thing's ammo. That's its main downside. Like, if it had a few more mags, it probably would be right up there with the Purifier. But unfortunately, just because of its ammo economy, I can't rate it as high. It does pretty good against all fronts, actually. It does probably the best against the bots, and against the illuminated bugs it also does really well. What's better about this than the Purifier, I'd say, against the bugs is because of the high fire rate. You're able to just catch everyone around, all the enemies around you, a lot easier. But again, because of the ammo economy, maybe the Purifier in the long run will be a little bit better. But yeah, so if you can run this as a supply pack and siege ready, it is pretty good. I won't go further than A tier. Now the Accelerator rifle. This gun is definitely better than what it launched at, but it's still not there. It is not there. I don't, yeah, I struggle to find a use case for it. It's most of the time against the bots. I feel like there are too many devastators. It's running out of ammo all the time, and I end up needing to rely on my support weapon for anti-tank and then a sidearm to kill all the little troopers and some of the devastators that the plasma rifle is supposed to kill as well. And then on the bug front, I think it's completely useless. It is terrible at crowd control. Sure, you could say run a stalwart with it, but then, you know, then it kind of makes the awkward case of that. Okay, then you have to run the ultimatum for anti-tank and thermites. So it weirdly narrows down your build crafting, and I don't really like that. I don't know what to do to this gun to make it better without killing, quote unquote, the honoring of the IP it comes from. I never played Killzone, but if this is how the gun was in Killzone, I really don't know how this gun is supposed to fit in Helldivers. I don't know what more we need to do for this gun without breaking its legacy, dare I say, and yeah, I'm struggling to find out how you make it any better. And look, what they did to it, the buffs they've been doing to it has made it more and more usable. I applaud them for trying, but without some sort of complete remake, I don't have the answers for it. I can't place it anywhere above D tier. Now, the Plasma Punisher. This is a gun that people have told me they really like. I know Phase Shifter, content creator, he loves this gun. I've never understood it. I've used this thing before and I was like, you're on drugs, bro. I can't understand how you enjoy this gun so much. And maybe I had an argument before the buff. After the buff, I briefly tried it for one game and I hopped out. I was like, I don't know. I don't really like this. And I kind of left it there. But in preparation for this video, I gave it more time. So I was playing through all the factions and I started seeing the appeal of it and how much better it is once you learn how to use it. You play into its strengths a bit and it starts shining. So I was a little bit harsh about this gun in the past and I've completely changed my tune. I'm actually enjoying this gun quite a lot now. I'd say it's probably it's not beating the Purifier in my opinion, but it is up there. It is pretty damn good. I think it's better than the Scorcher. So I'm just going to early rate this thing. I'm going to put in A tier just because it sucks in range. But it's really good. It's a lot of fun. I actually really enjoyed this gun. And I would suggest people use it more often. It's got completely explosive damage, so it doesn't care about armor too much. It can blow through armor. Unfortunately, heavy armor can still negate it. But against like shield devastators on the bot front, it doesn't care. It It'll just stagger them and hit them. It's incredibly good at CC. It translates into the bug front. It translates against the Illuminate. Like, it actually does really well. And I actually really enjoyed this gun. So, yeah. I don't know what more to say, but well done, Arrowhead, at kind of bringing this gun forward. It was really bad. Like, the very first time I used it, I hated this gun. But now I respect it. I really do enjoy it. And I'm going to be using it more often. Which is a surprise to say, because I did not like this gun at all. But yeah, that's my tier list for the energy weapons. If you have any disagreements, or you agree, or want to tell me about what your mom cooked in the kitchen for you tonight, then drop it in the comments and let me know. I really enjoyed making this video. I think the energy weapons are pretty fun sort of guns. They're very creative. They're more interesting than using 5 or 6 different variants of the Liberator. And yeah, they're pretty good guns. I will check you guys in the next video. Peace.